audio here. Sorry, I feel a bit sober and lethargic type thing. I've just done a little tribute to Meatloaf. It's all just sort of sinking in. But welcome to album review. So this week we have got a little teaser for some shows that I'll be doing later in the year. We're going to look at an album by Andy Bown called Unfinished Business. Now Andy Bown, of course, is a member of Status Quo. He's done other bits as well. He was in The Herd along with Peter Frampton. He was back in a band called Judas Jump that were an opening act on the Isle of Wight Festival in 1970. He played bass with Peter Frampton's band just before they became famous. He's recorded solo albums, which I'm trying to locate. He's worked with the legendary Jerry Lee Lewis. And first Quo album he appeared on was Hello 1973. And then he performed. He was part of the. He played on the live album, and then he played on every Quo album since Rocking All Over the World, and he became an official full member of Status Quo in 1982. He's had a pretty good career. There's another fact that he wrote music for a children's series called Ace of Wands. There you go. So we'll be doing a thing on him later in the year, looking at The Herd and his solo stuff and bits and bobs. But today we're going to concentrate on his most current solo album. He released it on the 5th of September 2011. It was the first one for many years, and it was the first one that he'd recorded while in Quo, because he'd done all little bits in between. He's played with Pink Floyd on the Wall. He was in the Surrogate Band. He's played on the Final Cut. He played the Hammond organ and 12-string on the Pros and Cons of Hitchhiking. He's just been around for many years. So on here, the people he's got on here are great. I mean, Andy Bown plays vocals, keyboards, guitars and harmonica. Mick Rogers is guitars. The mighty Trevor Boulder from Uriah Heep plays bass on 3 or 4 tracks. And Brad Lang plays on the others. So we've got Henry Spinetti on the drums. And we've got Juliet Rogers and Sylvia Mason James doing backing vocals. So what's on this album? Well, the first track is called Arubian Roy. It's a great little rock track. I'll talk about the vocals at the end of it, but it's a great little track. I like it. I like that track. It's got a catchy tune, pretty good stuff. Rubber Gloves, that's an interesting song. I just like the again, it's written well. It's quite a nice, catchy little tune. A Matter of Time. Oh, I don't like this one at all. It's just not my cup of tea. Sorry, Andrew. As much as I love your stuff, that one I didn't. Then there's a nice little song called When the Lights Went On. I love this song. The tune's ordinary, but what makes this a really good song is the lyrics. Basically, it's Andy talking about what he's done in his life. It mentions Live Aid. It mentions working with Jerry Lee Lewis, the work he did with Pink Floyd. I just think it's quite fun, and it's him reflecting on what a career he's had. Great song, and I love that one. Really do like it. Keeping the Wolf Away. It's a bit of a boogie track. It's not too bad. It's not the best track by any means, but it's still listenable. Ripe as Ninepence. It starts nice and quiet and gentle, and then it goes into a bit of a rocker, and it's a pretty good track. Okay, my favourite track on this album is a track called Tick My Box. Again, music, the melody in that is not particularly fantastic, but again, the lyrics are brilliant. This one's all about things that Andy likes. You know, from food to musicians, and it just ticks his box, and I think that is very, very good. Very, very clever. Then we get Built to Last. Again, it's a nice little track. Pretty cool. A Good Innings. Now this, I think, I can't find much about this, but listening to it, he just mentioned his late wife a lot. So I think this must be dedicated to his late wife, which is very nice. Then we get a thing called Dancing in the Rain. It's all right, I suppose. It's got a nice little drum beat. I like the brushes, the effect with the brushes. I like that. I love that sort of sound. Very jazzy. It's nothing spectacular. Okay, this album, it's got some really nice tunes on it, but unfortunately Andy Bown is a great backing vocalist, but he's not the best singer in the world. But don't take anything away from this album. I think it's a good album. Okay, the singing is a little bit iffy in places, but I don't care. I like Andy Bown as a musician. I think he's very underrated, is Andy Bown. I think he also played in a band called the Hurdy Gurdy Band with Bob Young. He's just a great musician. So I'm going to give this album an RTO ranking of 7 out of 10. One thing about Andy Bown as well, when he was with his work with Quo, when Alan Lancaster was in the band, Alan and Andy used to go off sightseeing. Left the rest of the boys to do whatever they were doing, but Alan and Andy, they went out sightseeing, and there's some nice little interviews with Alan, various ones saying that him and Andy, they got on so well, and they used to like going out for the day when they'd got time off. Okay, last show of the week. Not a good way to end though, the Passion of Meatloaf. As I said in the tribute, I have changed already. Retro ranking next week. We're going to be doing Meatloaf, of course. It's a big tribute to the man himself, and I'm going to pick my top 20 songs because I can't do just 10. There's so many great ones. So we're going to do a top 20, my favourite top 20 songs of the mighty Meatloaf. Okay, have a great weekend, everybody. Go and play some Meatloaf. Go and show him some love. And I will see you all on Monday, where the first show of the week will be a viewer's request. A request from one of my friends. I've promised her to do this, and I'm doing it now. Stained, one of her favourite bands. And classic album next week is the Eagles, Hotel California. So I'll see you all on Monday. Take care for now.